Hello, this is Mike Browder from Chamonix, leader of the Mera Peak SummitClimb expedition with a special dispatch for October 23rd. I'm going to interview Dan Mazur, who just skied Mera Peak yesterday. So, Dan, what's it like to ski Mera Peak anyway?
Thank you, Mike. I just would have to say that skiing down from the summit of Mera Peak, which is 21,450 feet high or 6,500 meters high, is one of the most amazing things that I've ever done in Nepal. Incredible experience, great weather, great snow, very challenging, and really just super exciting.
Okay, Dan, so what were the conditions like? Were they the same top to bottom?
Oh, yeah, the snow conditions, well, they were really quite variable. On top, fairly wind-blown up there. It was kind of a windy day, and then as I got further down into this high valley that dominates Mera Peak, the snow got a lot better, and it was actually quite powdery and really fun. There was occasional slight wind layer there, but it really wasn't too bad. Then once I got to the lower part of the mountain, it was some nice kind of soft and very turnable snow. And then I got a little bit lower at the very bottom, and I got into a shadowy area down around 17,000 feet or 5,200 meters, and I decided that at that point I would take off my skis just to be safe. Back to you, Mike.
Okay, what was the snow angle like? Or was there any particularly dangerous elements, or was it all pretty much cruising from top to bottom?
Okay, yeah, great question, Mike. Thank you. The slope angle, I'd say, was around 20 degrees. So it was, I describe it as intermediate terrain. One of the unique features of Mera Peak is there were a few crevasses up there that I had to ski around. So I had to really be careful and keep a good lookout. Another thing was that we hiked up the route earlier in that morning, the same route that I would ski down, so I kind of remembered and made some mental markers and kept good track of the crevasses that I'd have to look out for on the way down.
Okay, did you find it difficult to breathe while you were skiing downhill, or was it pretty easy?
Oh my gosh, that's a great question. Yes, it was really tough to breathe on the way down, and I had to stop and catch my breath, because when you're skiing around at above 20,000 feet or around 6,500 meters, wow, there's just not a lot of air to breathe. Another thing, though, that was really a surprise was it was quite cold when we got to the top, and I had all my down jacket on and my down trousers. But when I started skiing down, it immediately got really warm, and I had to take off all those layers. So I was skiing down while my friends were hiking down. My friends were wearing all these heavy, thick layers, and I was skiing down in just my wind shell Gore-Tex, and just really enjoying that.
So it sounded like you hiked up. You didn't have to skin up, or how did your skis get to the top of the hill?
Oh, well, I must say that I'm deeply indebted to our incredibly strong Sherpas who carried my boards all the way to the top. And I'm kind of embarrassed, because, as a, old school backcountry skier, I know that you're supposed to carry your own equipment and you're supposed to skin up. But, hey, we're in Nepal. There's a lot of really friendly, skillful Sherpas around, and they're super strong. So, I can't really complain. My boards were carried to the top for me.
Okay, Dan. So how many meters or feet did you ski down then?
Okay, I started skiing down at 6,500 meters, and I took off my skis at around 5,500 meters. So I skied at 7 meters of vertical terrain, which is equal to about 3,300 feet. And it was a long descent. It really took me quite a long time. I stopped in the middle for about a half. Okay, yeah, so, and it took me, I'd say, not including breaks, but I had to stop a lot to catch my breath, but I took a long lunch break in the middle.
Let me ask you again about equipment. What equipment did you use to ski, and do you think me or myself as a snowboarder, I could have done the mountains?
Okay, thanks, Mike. That's a great question. I used some lightweight, kind of all-mountain powder skis. These happened to be made by K2. They were a test ski from Vashon Island that I received from my friend Rainer Eckert. And I used Scarpa mountain touring, alpine touring boots, and I had Dynafit super lightweight bindings. So I was not telemark skiing. I was skiing down in downhill style. And as a snowboarder, I think it would have been excellent. And in fact, I think as a snowboarder, you would have been able to have skied further down the mountain than I was, because of this snowboards are just so good in variable snow conditions. I think you would have loved it. And as a snowboarder, I think you would have especially loved having the Sherpas carry your snowboard to the top for you. Okay, back to you, Mike.
Thanks, Dan. Okay, Dan, so would you recommend this? Was it fun? Sounds like to me it was a blast.
Oh, yeah, Mike, thanks. I would definitely recommend this to people who love high adventure mountain skiing in the Himalaya or mountain snowboarding, and people that love Nepal and love going into remote areas, because it took a week to get to the base of the mountain, and now we're going on into some other valleys. So I just think it's an all-around great adventure, really fun skiing, super high-altitude mountain with amazing views of Mount Everest. And what an incredible special thing to be able to be skiing down a mountain, looking straight over at Mount Everest, just a few kilometers away.
Okay, one last question, Dan. What did you do when you were finished? Did you celebrate?
Oh, yeah, Mike, that's a great question. We had, kind of an après ski party down in base camp with some really delicious food, excellently prepared, vegetables and pasta, and some really delicious steak for the meat eaters, lots of hot drinks, and lots of great fun times reliving the day's memory around the table in base camp. And that was just a really nice way to wind up the day. And also we descended to quite a low elevation, down to 17,000 feet or 5,200 meters, where the air is so much thicker and easy to breathe.
Okay, thank you very much, Dan. So this is Mike Browder with the Mera Peak Maroonsea Expedition, with a special dispatch interviewing Dan Mazur, who skied down Mera Peak yesterday. Thank you very much.